Hello, everyone, and welcome. Just want to take a moment to thank you all for joining our Turning Clicks into Patients webinar today. My name is Sawyer Barkas. I am a product marketing specialist here with ChiroTouch, and so excited to be here this morning. I do want to extend a very warm welcome to Ipsa Godana, account sales manager at Inception Online Marketing, who has 4 years of experience in chiropractic marketing, having worked in almost every single department in Inception, from website building to ads consulting and account management. Ipsa has gained really deep insights into improving chiropractors' online presence through strategic sort of SEO and advertising. I also want to introduce Elizabeth Pagano, who is one of our software consultants here at ChiroTouch. Elizabeth is also super experienced in a variety of roles here and recently celebrated her 5-year anniversary. Congratulations. She has thoroughly enjoyed helping offices sort of evaluate their software transition, and she has a deep understanding of, the power of ChiroTouch and all of its services. And today she will look forward to presenting on our CT Engage messaging platform and how that plays a role in driving more patients and revenue. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass things over to Ipsa.
Thank you so much, Sawyer, for that great introduction. Really excited to be here to talk about some strategies for improving conversions through your websites. The website is the home for your business online, and it's really important to make sure we're doing everything that we can on that site to improve the conversions of the amount of people that are taking action, reaching out to your office. So Sawyer got a chance to introduce me a little bit, which I really appreciate. So like she said, I've been here for 4 years in the chiropractic marketing world. I have been in marketing in general for close to 7 years. And so just a ton of experience that I've had and the privilege of working with countless chiropractors to optimize their online presence and grow their practices. And my goal today is to equip you with strategies that can immediately impact your practice. So let's dive into a little bit about what Inception Online Marketing is. So this might be the first time you're hearing about Inception Online Marketing. You might have heard about us before, but we're actually a sister company with ChiroTouch. And Inception Online Marketing has been helping chiropractors grow their online presence since 2012. We specialize in a few things: website design, SEO or search engine optimization. We do Google advertising. We do social media advertising, Facebook and Instagram ads, just to help offices attract the right audience and convert visitors into loyal patients. And our mission is simple: to help practices stand out online and achieve really measurable results. So with all that being said, let me go into the topic of today's webinar which is the 10 website strategies for maximum conversions. So you'll see 10 bullet points here, and I'm going to go through each one of these as we go through these slides. But these tips that I'm going to go over are things that are going to help you essentially get more people to take action on your website. That's going to be important, right? If somebody goes to your website, it's great that they're getting the information, but we also want them to convert or click a button, call your office, or fill out a form requesting an appointment. And each one of these 10 strategies will be effective in making that happen. And so by the end of the session, I'm hoping that you'll have a clear roadmap to make your website a conversion powerhouse at the end of the day. So let's get right into it here. So one thing I always like to start off with when talking about website optimization is really to understand how a patient is navigating a website, right? So we work with over 2,500 chiropractic offices, and in the last 12 years, doing a lot of market research, being able to take a look at different analytics, we've been able to get an idea of how people navigate a chiropractic website, and we're gonna have an idea of like really what they're looking for when they're on your website as well. So what the data tells us is that most people are spending somewhere between 5 to 20 seconds before they make their initial decision, either to explore the website more, call your office, fill out a form, or to bounce back to Google and try to find something else. And so these tips for conversion that I'm going to give you is going to allow us to really maximize that short amount of time people spend on the website before they make a decision. And using these strategies, it'll allow them to actually stay on your website, give you guys a call, fill out a form, or learn more about your office and spend more time on your website. So one of the first things that I want to talk about is building trust through visuals. So keep in mind, it's like I said, it's a very short amount of time that people spend on that website there. And so what they're looking for is they're trying to understand, am I going to have a good experience here? Is this the right place for me to go to? Can I trust your office, right? What is it like to be a patient here? And it's happening in a really short amount of time. So pictures and photos of your team, office, patient care, including awards or certifications for credibility, those type of things would build trust immediately. When somebody can see who you are, see what it's like to be a patient visually, either through some photos or some videos that showcase the, a practitioner-patient interactions, that'll allow people to build that trust and kind of put themselves in the shoes of the patients in the picture, and see that they can also have a good experience at your office too as well. The second thing is focusing on a user-friendly navigation. What I mean by that is we want to make it really simple for somebody to navigate your website and find the right things that they're looking for. So simplifying a menu structure and highlighting key pages like your services, your about, and contact info, but also where to go to become a new patient. How do I request an appointment or book an appointment? Those things should be very prevalent and easy to find on your website. And then you also want to leverage patient reviews, right? People want to see what other people have experienced in your office. So displaying authentic reviews, testimonials, to help build that confidence and trust for the patient is really important, right? Whether that's having some video testimonials, which are really great, as people can watch those and really see what another patient experienced, or even having just a stream of maybe some Google or Facebook testimonials on your website. That's really important too as well. And then enhancing mobile usability. So what I mean by that is making sure that the mobile version of your website is loading fast, it's a responsive design, meaning that when it loads on the mobile version, people can easily see everything and it's structured in a proper format. That's important in today's world, as 95% of users online are on a cell phone or a mobile device. In the days of people just being on a desktop all the time or a laptop all the time, are kind of dwindling down when we're talking about people doing searches for services online. And so your mobile version of your website needs to be really well done and responsive for patients to be able to easily navigate it, find what they're looking for, and be able to make a decision really quickly. Moving forward, right, some other things that you also want to do is optimize your call to action buttons. So those are referred to in the marketing world as CTAs, or call to actions. And so we want to use very clear calls to actions across the website. And you can see on the examples that I have in these pictures of different websites that we do, it's very clear to what that call to action is. You can see a yellow right in the middle of that page. It stands out. Your eyes are drawn to it immediately. On the mobile version, on the desktop version, you can see those yellow buttons, exactly where to go to become a new patient or to book an appointment. We want to make that very clear for that patient. And then highlighting special offers and promotions, right? New patient special tends to be a pretty common call to action on chiropractic websites. And it's also a soft call to action. And what I mean by that is that, right, we're not saying book now or schedule today. We're saying, hey, we have a new patient special, and it draws curiosity. And somebody would click on that just to see what it is, or just to learn a little bit more, as opposed to maybe clicking at different types of call to action too as well. So using those special offer promotions or new patient special call to actions can get more clicks onto those pages and more actions taken on your website too as well. The next thing is streamlining online appointment scheduling. So we live in a world today where people might want to do things a lot quicker, right? Calling an office and having to sit on the phone, that might be something that they can't do right then and there, but they can fill out a form or schedule online really easily. And so I know ChiroTouch has a lot of great tools that allow offices to have online scheduling or put it on their website. And we have, the nice thing about Inception is that we work with so many ChiroTouch customers. And a lot of them will have online scheduling tools that they have on their website through ChiroTouch that we can link to the site, clicks them over to a page where they can easily book online, which saves the patient time. It also allows for more people to book through your website because you make it really easy for them to do so as well. So all these things that I talked about will allow for easier conversions from your website. The easier you make it for patients to be able to see who you are, what you're all about, what it's like to be a patient there, you're able to see what other people have said about your office and the experience that they have had, and then making it really easy for them to schedule an appointment online will allow you to get really strong conversions back from your website. And the last thing I wanted to talk about real quick was boosting website performance and visibility through SEO. Now, all the things I just covered won't really matter if somebody cannot find your website, right? have to get that to be found online. So implementing effective SEO strategies is important. Using like local keywords to your market, creating content to answer patient questions and improve rankings online. One of the things is improving page load speeds, right? Compressing image files and reducing the amount of plugins that you use on your website, and just being able to see how the performance of your page speed is. And then optimizing headings, meta titles, meta description, alt text, all these different tools on the back end of your website. If you do it properly and structure it properly, it will allow your website to show up better. Now, I don't have enough time to go through all the specifics of the technical side of SEO, but if you're looking at all this and you're saying, "Oh my goodness, this is a lot of stuff to do," Inception has been doing this for years, and we've already helped out thousands of chiropractors already, many of them being ChiroTouch users. So if you are looking for somebody to do it for you, because I know your job is not to be a marketing specialist, but to be a chiropractor and be able to help out patients on a daily basis, reach out to us. We can talk to you about what your current presence looks like online and how we can improve it and how we can do all these things that I covered today as well. So hopefully this was helpful, and hopefully you got some great information out of this. What I'll do now is I'll pass it over to Liz, who will go through some things through ChiroTouch and how this all ties in with Inception as well.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, Ipsa and Sawyer, for the introduction. I am going to go ahead and share my screen. We're able to see the CT Engage software here. Now, if you guys are using ChiroTouch already, you'll know that ChiroTouch is a very powerful system. It's a very powerful software. It could do a lot for your office, scheduling, charting, billing. That's going to be where we're more focused on what we could do for our staff, managing some of those in-office operations. Now, with CT Engage, that's going to be the messaging portion of our software here, and it's really where we're going to be showing up more for our patients. How are we going to be streamlining some of that communication? And obviously, with the theme of today's webinar, how is this going to help us drive more patients, ultimately drive more revenue there at the practice? So you'll see this is essentially a software within itself. On that left-hand side, you're going to see some of the different areas that we're going to essentially handle for you within the platform, essentially automate some of that messaging. Now, I love this page that we're on right now. Think of it kind of like your home base with the CT Engage software. It's essentially going to be our dashboard. And this is where we're actually going to be showing you, is this system essentially working for us? How is it going to be converting, our patients into more revenue here? So we'll actually be able to see, we're going to break down some of the different, types of messages that we would be able to automate for you. But this is going to be showing us how many of our appointment confirmations have actually, reflected on our calendars, so that we can make sure that we are filling those time slots accordingly. How many of our patients have used our review management tool, where they're essentially going to be letting us know after the appointment, if it was a 5-star appointment, it's going to actually just route right to our review site of choice. And we'll actually be able to manage that from here, how many public reviews have been posted, and ultimately, going with Ipsa's theme as well, driving that website, presence, so that people may be looking up our practice will be ranking higher in that list. Now, you'll actually see here on the left-hand side, this is going to be the different areas. Review management right here is going to be where you're going to be essentially driving those social media reviews. So sending those patients that review requests, anybody who is 5-star will actually just have it automatically route right to your Yelp business page, Google, whatever your preference is there. Reminders, of course, is going to be, I would say, one of the focal points here. Obviously, we want to limit those no-shows. If a patient can't make it for an appointment, we're going to want to know, just that we can essentially fill that time slot, with somebody else. So we'll be automating all your reminders, all of your confirmations, like we talked about earlier too. So those appointments that might be booked a little further out, we want to go ahead, keep them warm, just give them that additional touch point. That'll reflect right on your ChiroTouch schedule, just so that you can make sure that everything's buttoned up there. Patient communicator, this is just going to be essentially our two-way messaging system. Think of it like your smartphone here just blowing up on your screen. So if we need to go back on a patient thread, or, quickly send a patient a message that maybe they left their jacket by the adjusting table. Those are all things that we're easily able to do. A lot of your patients, you'll find these days especially, don't necessarily love picking up the phone. So it is really nice not only seeing our outbound messaging here, but any inbound messages that are coming in as well. Now, where the system is really going to have a lot of value and where it's ultimately going to be paying for itself is when we're looking at the patient recall. Now, this is essentially where we're going to be targeting those patients who maybe fell off track a little bit on their care, or maybe they just haven't been in our office in, say, 30, 60, 90 days. Whatever you want your cadence to be, we can essentially send those patients a warm-up text or email. Hey, we miss you over here at Core Chiropractic. Use our online scheduling link here to book your next appointment. That's where we can start looking at the big picture and seeing how patients, again, don't need to pick up the phone just to easily book their next adjustment with us. Blasting right here, this is going to be our campaigns. We're going to come preloaded with a lot of different blast templates for you guys. So, essentially it might be an email blast. That might be more like a newsletter, maybe a marketing or referral program or promo that we want to go ahead and blast out to maybe a subset of our database. Those are all examples, again, of how we can just drive more patients. Now, another common example is maybe we're having inclement weather. We need to close up shop. We want an easy way just to communicate with our patients there who maybe had an appointment scheduled. I know actually I heard from a teammate this morning that Florida got, I want to say, 8 inches of snow last night, which is absolutely crazy. So you'll never know when you'll need this. It's really nice just to have that as an option. And of course, less effort, less labor on the practice and the provider as well. You'll see down here, this little lower section is going to be our intake forms, paperwork, just an easy place to manage all of that. So looking at CT Engage, a lot of our new patients, maybe we want additional touch points with them, reminding them to complete things like their paperwork, maybe providing in their appointment reminder some instructions on getting into the building, all things that just give them that reassurance from the very first stage, of joining your practice, and then ultimately just setting up that patient experience for the months and years to follow. That does a nice summary of CT Engage. There's lots that it can do. Obviously, it's feature rich. Today, we were just focusing on how it can really drive more patients there to the practice, but also maintaining them as well. Any questions that you have, we can always do a more in-depth demo too. So make sure to stick around here at the end. We'll have a nice way for you to request more information, whether you're using ChiroTouch but not CT Engage quite yet, or, of course, if you're not using ChiroTouch, I know my team would love to talk with you more and just do a nice comparison with your current setup now.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Super, super cool to just check out all the different features and capabilities that we have. So I appreciate both you and IPSA kind of breaking that down for us and giving us a walkthrough. Did want to just give us a moment to see if we had any Q&A questions. Can patients book from my website? So IPSA, that might be a good one for you. Question is, can patients book from my website?
Yeah, it's a great question. The answer to that is yes, they can absolutely book from your website. So if you are a ChiroTouch user, there are features through ChiroTouch where you can have a link on the website on a book now button that would link over to an online scheduler through there as well. Or if you use something else, we have the ability to link that to the website or embed it into the website where people can directly schedule from your website. So we have different tools to be able to do that on the site too as well. The other option is you can always have a form on the website that people fill out and then you can reach out to them afterwards. But for the people that do want to have an actual scheduler linked to the website, we can absolutely do that. All you need to do is provide us the link or the embed code, and then we can get that added to the website for you. No problem.
I'll add to that too. With ChiroTouch, online scheduling is going to be included just right there within your settings. It's kind of like a light switch that we can help turn on for you guys. So that is what we'd essentially be providing to the Inception team. We'll give the HTML code, and then it will just sit there right on the homepage of the website. And then that will actually integrate with the ChiroTouch schedule too, which is nice as well.
Great. We have another question here. Is it possible to connect the CT schedule to my Google Calendar?
So at this time, we're not going to have an official integration with Google Calendar. That is something that I know that we are looking into in the future. Essentially, at this point in time, we will integrate with your phone schedule. So if you do, or patients, maybe booking an appointment want to go ahead and have that on, say, their iPhone or Android calendar, that's something that we can do. But from the provider point of view, that is something that we're looking into, and we'll reach out with more information if that's something that will be live in the future.
Awesome. All right, next question we have here. If we have a dedicated website person who's been working on our website, is there a way that we can embed the ChiroTouch scheduler to our website?
Yes, so assuming I understood the question correctly, we basically just want to know when we're using the online scheduler through ChiroTouch, if it will just be embedded on the website, kind of like a book appointment here button.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something that the website team will actually be able to help you with directly. I know, even for me, I'm not too involved with like the back end of websites. So that's something where they're the pros. We'll just provide the HTML code within the settings, and then the website team will be able to easily help embed it. Whatever you want to call that widget or button, people get creative with it. Book appointment here, for example. And then when patients are right there from their phones or computers at home, clicking into that widget, it's going to bring them to the ChiroTouch online scheduler. And then from there, they'll be able to see all of your appointment types that you have visible on that page. Maybe they just want to book for their adjustment. They'll then be able to see your availability and then book a time, and it would show on your ChiroTouch scheduler.
Awesome. Thank you. And kind of on that note, we have another question. How long would it take me to build a website with you guys?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. So we want to streamline the process for anybody that starts the website service with us. So it starts with an onboarding call with our team. And then from there, we'll start the design process and then do a preview and revision call. And that time frame is usually around about 20 days or so to get the website live from start to finish.
Awesome. I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like 20 days is nothing. That's super, super cool. All right, we've got another question here. With CT Engage, will the social media reviews link to my preferred review site?
Yep, the answer to there is yes. So basically the idea is we can automate your review requests to your patients. They would go ahead, input their score on that 5-star scale, and then they can actually link that 5-star review and just have it go straight to your Yelp, Google, business page. I know there's a few other options out there. So whatever you like to prefer or like to use as a practice, we'd be able to link it up so that those reviews go public.
Amazing. Thank you. And I do have one more question that's here in the chat. Is having a patient app where patients can book appointments, view their documents and info, and view texts and emails sent from our practice beneficial for getting new and existing patients in for appointments?
Yeah, so our team will get that question a lot. We don't have like a dedicated app where patients will just, click into the app and then go ahead and book that appointment. It is essentially through like a web browser or a web page. Now, as a patient, it is actually pretty easy if they, are constantly booking appointments through your online scheduler, for instance. They're actually able to save that on the home screen. I'm personally an Apple fan. I have an iPhone, but I know it works for Androids as well. So then they don't need to necessarily type in the URL every single time. It's basically just a shortcut where they can click into it like an app and it'll just pull up that page.
Awesome. And it looks like we do have another question here. With Inception, do you guys have a way to elevate SEO standings?
That makes sense. So, we've experienced this many of times where offices will come to us and they're currently not ranking well, and it's due to a variety of different reasons. Every website's a little bit different, and there's a different reason as to why somebody's not ranking well. Whether it may be that it's optimized improperly, it doesn't have the right local optimization. The headings are wrong, the meta titles are wrong. Maybe a company that they were previously working for had a bunch of spammy backlinks redirecting to the website and those type of things. But essentially what we're able to do when we start building the website, we'll kind of review it to make sure that we're only bringing over pages that are going to help the website, but we have a specific optimization process that we've been following over 12 years. And out of our 2,500 clients, we have many of them that do rank on the first page of Google due to this specific optimization standard that we have here in Inception. So when somebody starts, we will build the website in that format, and we actually start off with a base design that's already been tested, that's already been proven to actually work. And then from that base design, we'll go ahead and personalize it to your office and adding in the proper heading structures, the proper meta titles, meta descriptions, all text. We improve page load speeds by compressing images, reducing the amount of plugins we use on the back end, many different other things I can go on and on and on about, but we do review the site before we start building it, which allows us to see maybe what was going on previously before we started working on the new website there. And so from that review, we're able to see what things to do and how we can improve the rank moving forward from that state.
If you guys are at all interested in connecting with a ChiroTouch specialist or an Inception online marketing expert, feel free to scan the QR codes below. Looks like we have another question here that just came up. Does Inception integrate into our website, or do we need to build one with Inception?
Yeah, great question. So in today's world, right, you can build a website in like 1,000 different ways. You have your self-builders like Wix and Squarespace, and then you have WordPress, and within WordPress, you have thousands of different builders like Beaver Builder, Elementor, all these different ones. And so to go into an existing website, to try to figure out how it's built, decipher it, take out all the things that are not working with it, and then put in the right things, it's a lot more expensive, time costly, and just not as effective as it would be to go ahead and start off with a brand new site. Now, the thing is, you can use your domain. So what that means is if you have like a www. Let's just say ipsischiropractic.com, and if you've been using that domain for years and you want to continue using that domain, which we do suggest, we will use that domain for the new website. But essentially what we want to do is we want to start off with a base design, one that we have built in-house and tested to make sure that it actually works across different different markets and is it's actually converting people when people land on that type of design. We start off with a base, and then we personalize it to your office with your pictures, your content, your reviews, and make sure that it really showcases your office in the way that you would like it to. And so we don't rebuild people's existing websites. We actually build you a brand new website that's going to do a lot better than the current one that you have already. And this actually allows us to build websites in a much quicker amount of time because we've been able to build a process that allows us to do that with these really awesome designs that we have built in-house for the offices that work with us.
Great, thank you. I think we are all set here with Q&A. Again, I just want to thank everybody for joining the call today. I hope everybody has a great rest of their week. Take care.